off? All right. Will you just tell me if I start doing a crooked head? Yeah, but I mean, I'm blurry, so I can see if my head's going like that. My head's straight, right? Yeah. But I'm just blurry. That's fine. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. We are live with Ask Me Anything, brought to you by Alex and Anna. Ask Me Anything. This is, how many episodes have we done? I don't even know.
It's like 5 or 6, maybe more.
You think?
I mean, like, since we started doing it kind of this format.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 or 6, but I mean, in the past.
So
Forgot my mic to turn on. In the past, we've done a bunch.
yeah.
So
even though I keep saying I'm going to make Alex on camera one of these days, Ask Me Anything is just my way of answering all of the questions that come from all over the place. Every day we get questions in all different forms, emails, Facebook, DM, you name it. So we're streaming live on YouTube and live in the photographers Facebook group. I can't see the questions. I can't see who's asking the questions. Alex will read the questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. We do need to stop at 3:30 today. Today is my daughter Ava's birthday. Oh, I didn't do my birthday post yet. I kept saying I was going to do my birthday post, and then I was going to wait because she kept saying she wasn't 16 till 12:23 or something. So then I was going to schedule the post
you
for 12:23.
missed her birthday?
No, I didn't post it. She's not even on Facebook, but I usually do like a Facebook post. I'll do it after this. But Ava's 16th birthday is today. If you saw the live this morning, we were live for quite a few hours. We did a live newborn family session with a really good baby. He just liked to eat a lot. And we kind of took our time. So it was a couple of hours this morning. If you're a member of bellybabyschool.com or members of Anna Brandt at members.annabrandt.com, we will get the recording up in the next few days. But it was a pretty long live. And so now I'm just answering your questions. So here we go. Whenever you're ready, Alex.
We'll start with the ones that came in through online. What do you recommend to someone who wants to switch from all-inclusive to IPS?
Okay, so what do I recommend for someone who wants to switch from all-inclusive to IPS? Why not start a hybrid program? So I have session only as well as all-inclusive digital packages. And I've done both of them for years. I've never really done all of one or all of the other because I was film before I was digital. So film was only in-person sales. Once I went digital, I just did a hybrid program, and it works really well. I have a lot of clients who want session only and want to do whatever the ordering is afterwards. And then I have some clients that want to do, I have some clients that want to do digital. And so my suggestion would be have both. Have all-inclusive and have session only. Well, I guess they're saying if you're saying you're all-inclusive, that means you haven't had that option. So yeah, do a hybrid and then see which sells the best. I think that you can have really high numbers doing either or both. So you kind of got to test the market and you got to test what your clients will want. So that would be my suggestion. It's cold over here, Alex. I have no heater and no sweater.
Someone said I recommend hiring Anna to do one-on-one business mentoring.
Aw, that's very nice of you.
Next question. What type of insurance coverage is a must when you're starting newborn photography in your own home?
I mean, I'm not an insurance agent, so you definitely want to talk to a very knowledgeable insurance agent who understands the photography businesses. I think whether you're in your home or in a studio, you still need liability. You need personal liability, you need business liability, you need equipment coverage wherever you are. Even if you're working out of your car, what if the house catches on fire? You kind of with insurance, you have to think of the what ifs, right? Because that's what agents do. What if? What if the house is on fire and you lose everything? I've known photographers that this has happened to. How much would it cost you to replace everything in your home or studio? Everything you're using for your business. It's just kind of like homeowners insurance. Is what would what would it require for you to start over? What if your house was broken into? I've known people that's happened as well, where people have broken into homes and stolen equipment. So I think the biggest thing is not the biggest thing, but from an equipment standpoint, you should have an idea of how much everything costs if you had to start over through theft or fire or whatever. That's very important. Also, this is regardless of whether you're in a studio or you're in a home. The other is liability for injury. If a client is injured in your space, how are you protected? How do you help your client? Legality, if they sue you, what is your protection there? In addition, if you become ill, you become injured on the job. You could become injured on the job. What if you become ill and you can no longer work? And a lot of the struggle is, especially with COVID, is a lot of photographers haven't been paying themselves. I have an online course right now at bellybabyschool.com in simple selling, and it's still live right now. We're still adding lessons, but I think it was last week I posted, are you giving yourself a paycheck? Because unfortunately, so many photographers don't actually give themselves a physical paycheck. The challenge with that is if you don't give yourself a physical paycheck and you don't have unemployment taken out, you won't be able to get unemployment services from the government. So if you're not getting unemployment services from the government and you can't work because of shutdown, COVID, whatever, what is your safety net? How would you pay the bills? So you got to just sit down and write what if, and talk to a really good agent. PPA has really good insurance from what I've heard. Talk to a good agent that understands it. I have I think I have 4 policies. One of them covers when I travel. So keep that in mind as well, that I travel. I need insurance for when I travel. In addition, when I rent studios, I need insurance that covers the studio that I'm renting. So just get a really, really good agent. I have 2 amazing agents that have been with me for like 10 years.
Okay, let's go from Facebook. Have you recovered from New York City?
Yeah, gosh, I don't know who's asking that, but how long ago is that? That
Yeah,
seems like
we're almost going back.
I know it's almost time to go back. We just booked our New York tickets. I have recovered from New York. Yeah, it seems like, doesn't that seem so long ago, Alex?
It really does.
It really seems so long ago because we just booked our tickets for New York. And oh my gosh, can I tell you? So I booked the tickets for our New York. We have clinics on the 11th and 12th that are sold out, right? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to book a red eye. I'm going to actually just book a day flight. Alex and I will get in at a reasonable hour. We can have dinner. We could both go to our respective rooms and have a good night's sleep. Right? Sounds so great. And then Olivia's like, my daughter, my 18-year-old is like, Mom, there's a dance. Let me guess. Of course it's the day that I have to fly to New York. Not only is there a dance, but of course, Mom, you have to be there to take photos. Well, isn't someone else doing photos? Like formal invitations went out that there's photos being taken. Isn't someone else doing photos? Yeah, but you're like my mom. Of course. So I have to adjust my flight. I'll be having to sleep on the plane and go directly to my workshop because it's the only way that I can help Olivia get ready, do her photos, get her to her final senior dance, and then I'll have to jump on like a 10 o'clock flight and just sleep on the plane. I've done it before, but I just was like, really? Of all the days in the year, how many days are there in a year? And there's that 365. There's that one day. Yeah.
Okay, this was in regards to the first question about IPS. So for digital, you do an online gallery instead of IPS?
Yeah, you could do both. I mean, I have clients, so we don't put images online unless they've been prepaid for. So if you're buying session only, then you have to come in and have an ordering appointment with me. The only time that we put images online is if they've been prepaid, that they still have to pick them. But you can do both. Is the question that like in-person sales doesn't have to be in person. In-person sales, blah, 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 blah. IPS stands for in-person sales. It doesn't have to be in person. I just had one of my clients from Arizona send me an email and ordered 6 canvases through email because she's in Arizona and I've flown there and she's flown here. And, that just reminded me. I have that client that's out by Google that asked me to fly out there. And I don't know if I responded. Shoot. That just reminded me. So we take turns flying out. So she orders, I've been doing canvases on her wall since her first child when she came and did in-person ordering in my studio. But every session, I think we've done 8, she always orders canvases because we have a whole wall we're doing, and she does it via email. So it just kind of depends on the relationship you have with your client. I have clients all the time that will say, oh, I want to order canvases. I want to order books. We'll do it remotely. We'll do it on the telephone. We'll do an email. They'll come in. Now with COVID, it's been all over the place. Before COVID, everyone kind of came in, but now it's all over the place. So you don't have to do in-person sales in person. You can do them anywhere.
What was it? Someone commented about the home insurance thing, or the insurance in general. Someone apparently had just set up their studio in their home and then done only a few sessions, and their entire house burned down. Yeah. Next question, though.
Were they covered?
I don't know. They didn't say.
Oh.
So I guess someone posted about it.
Yeah.
If there was
That's my biggest fear.
If there was no photography, what do you think you would be doing as a career, and why did you never get into weddings?
Someone just came in. That's a good question. Okay, I'll answer the last first. Why I never got into weddings is because I never liked the idea of photographing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours straight. I didn't like the idea of that, number one. Number two, I felt like I could never please brides. And it's kind of like a one-shot thing. I mean, not always, but, usually. Usually it's a one-time thing. Are they going to shut the power?
No, some guy's working on electrical.
Oh. No, I just said with weddings, I was like, it's a one-time thing, and I don't want to ruin the bride's day. And then I'm like, well, I guess it's not always a one-time thing. It could be 2 or 3 times. Heather, our hair and makeup girl, said something so funny. She said, sorry, my phone keeps buzzing, but it's just Ava's getting ready to get out of school today, so I'm just keeping an eye on that. I don't know. I guess Heather, our girl who does hair and makeup, she had a stressed out bride, and she said, listen up, honey, this is just your first wedding. You have another one coming. Don't get too stressed out. Something like that. And I was laughing so hard. I'm sure the hair and makeup and wedding industry, they see their fair share. Yeah, I've done 7 weddings. I didn't like any of them. I love wedding photos. Love them. I could stare at brides all day long. Every time I see a bride, if I'm in public, I'll be that gusher, like, oh, she's so beautiful. But I think I just couldn't. I just didn't want to. It's kind of like pets. I don't know. I don't have a reason. I just didn't want to spend every single weekend of my life photographing weddings. That would be number 1. I didn't want to spend 8, 9, 10, 12-hour days doing weddings. Number 2. Number 3, I didn't want to ruin a bride's day. That's a big one. And what would I be doing? I don't know. Home having babies? It's funny. I was talking about that with Ava the other day. We were just talking because she's 16 today, and I was like, gosh, 16. When I was 16, I remember being at Christian camp, and I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. And we had this whole conversation. I said, Ava, when I became a photographer, I didn't have any intention of anything. I just wanted to take photos, and I thought I'd make some extra money doing it. I didn't want to make a lot of money. I didn't even think you could make a lot of money. I didn't know anything about YouTube or social media, or I didn't think anyone would know me. I just loved babies, and I saw Ann Geddes' work, and I loved taking photos. And just when I quit my day job, was like, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I had no idea of the future at all. I think, I love children. I think had I not become a pro, I probably would have just stayed home. I don't know. I have no idea. I probably would have a couple more children. I stopped at 3. 5 or 6 would be wonderful. Ava wants a farm and horses, and I grew up with a lot of animals on big properties, so I would love a farm. I mean, I'm a city girl, but I would love a farm too. I don't know. I don't have did I even answer the question? I have no idea what I'd be doing.
Close enough.
Something with children. I'd probably have 20 of them, maybe foster, adopt. I'd probably be making something, doing something. I have no idea.
Okay, then. Well,
I have no idea. That question stumped me. I have no idea. Okay, here we go. Next question.
what do you do when your motivation is lacking? What would you say to someone who needs a swift kick in the butt to get back into business?
Every day. Get up and do it. Don't put off for tomorrow what you could do today. I have to tell myself that every day. I almost canceled the live today. I was telling my client that I literally this morning typed in, because I had my second iron infusion yesterday, and this new iron I'm on left me really nauseous, like unbearable. I had to cancel a flight last weekend because I couldn't be on a plane. It was that bad. And so I told my doctor yesterday, she says, how are you responding to this iron? And I said the nausea was unbearable. I almost didn't make it off the plane from Michigan. And I couldn't go to Boston. And so she says, was it immediate or was it the next day? I'm like, the whole last weekend was a fog. I was ill. So I had iron on Wednesday. I was ill, I think, till Monday. It was just like last weekend was such a fog. I was a mess. So yesterday when I went to the hematologist, they said, we'll give you anti-nausea medicine, but it makes you sleepy. I'm like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be live tomorrow for like 6 hours. I don't even know. I can't be sleepy. She's like, okay, take it when you get home. Well, I forgot I had promised my daughter mani-pedis, and it's because it's Ava's birthday. We were like, oh, we have to get mani-pedis. I barely was standing yesterday. I mean, I don't even remember after the doctor. It was all a blur. It was such a blur that I went home. I don't even remember what the question is. What was the question? Oh, motivation. Yeah. So I guess Ava had homework, and she had left her homework on my bed, and I was supposed to bring it to the salon. I was so out of it after my doctor's appointment yesterday. I don't even remember. I was shopping for her birthday. I picked up Olivia. I barely made it to the salon. I couldn't even stand up. So I just kept telling myself, Anna, just get in the chair. Got my nails done. Just get in the chair and don't move. So when we were done, I couldn't even stand up. And my daughters are like, oh my God, Mom, can you even drive home? We'll drive home. I said, I just need to get this anti-nausea medicine and get home. And the Walgreens, it was like an hour. Walgreens. By the time I got home, I just passed out for the night. I didn't do anything. And so this morning, I was not well. I was like, I'm not going to go live. I'm going to cancel Ask Me Anything. I'm going to cancel the shoot. I'm going to cancel everything. I'm not. So I literally wrote my client an email at 5:30, 6 a.m., which I found out was when she was getting hair and makeup done. So I'm glad I didn't send it. And I wrote this whole long email. I'm so sorry. I'm nauseous. I'm ill. I went to hit send. I put the phone down, walked away, and came back, and my phone shut off. So that was random. So I was like, okay, I guess I don't know. So I went down to the kitchen, and I was telling Ava this, and she was like, Mom, I guess God really wants you to do this day. And I said, I feel that every day. Every day I'll wake up and I'll be like, I cannot do this day. I cannot do this day. And then I just was like, Anna, just do it. You'll feel better. You'll get to work. You'll feel better. And I was telling my client, once I picked up my camera, the nausea went away. And I've been just eating like crackers and ginger ale all day. So my advice to you as far as motivation, and Alex is probably always like, this is really taking forever because you're not answering the question, but it's because everything leads to something else. But my point is that can't tell you how many times this year has kicked my ass. I mean, almost every day I wake up, I'm like, nope, can't do it, can't do this day. And then my dogs like nip at me because they have to go to the bathroom. And then the kids one by one. Yesterday they were all like texting me one by one. So I just tell myself, this is what I tell myself. I don't have regrets. Don't have regrets. So if you didn't do the day, would you regret it? If you didn't do what it is you're not motivated to do, would you regret it? If you couldn't shoot tomorrow because your legs fell off, you got hit by a car, would that be sad to you? All those things you're probably going to say yes to, right? Right, Alex? If your legs fell off.
If I got hit by a car, I'd be kind of sad, yeah.
So I look at it as if I wake up and I have my legs and my hands and my head and everything is working, just do the work, because there's a lot of people who can't. There's a lot of people who are sick, and there's a lot of people who are ill, and there are people that didn't wake up today. And I just have to tell myself every day, if I'm healthy and I'm alive, I'm going to do the work. So that's my message to pass on to you. And just do the work. That was
Okay.
a long answer.
Anna, as I'm practicing, I still feel like I am overshooting because I am worried even when I look at the back of the camera if the image is in focus. Sometimes it looks good on the back of the camera, but when I pull it up in Lightroom, the one that I may like, it isn't in focus. How do you still keep from overshooting?
Yeah, get your camera checked because every time we do a workshop, Alex and I run into this problem. Probably half the students are like, don't you think focusing is the number one problem in workshops?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Right? So I have that problem as well. I had that problem this morning, actually. So I'll like zoom in. I will like my children. I will like zoom in to see the message. I will zoom in to see the image, and just try to see if I can see that it's tack sharp. And if it is, I'll move on. That doesn't solve the answer to your question where you said it seems like it's sharp, and then you get back to the camera and it's not. I mean, you can't take 20 unsharp images. I don't know. What would you say to that, Alex? You got to get your camera checked to make sure, because that's number one. And then you could, you could try tethering, but that doesn't always work either. When I see people overshooting, it's like, yeah, it's overshooting because of lack of confidence. It's overshooting because of focus. It's overshooting because you finally got the baby to sleep and you really don't want to touch him. So I think it comes with confidence and time. I don't have time to overshoot too long. It'll come. But get your camera checked, because so many times their focusing is just off and their camera needs to be calibrated and checked. Mine needs to go in, Alex.
Yeah, did you ever sign
No.
up the what is it, Canon Professional Services?
No.
Okay, well, hello, Anna. I wanted to ask, what would you do if you post to market yourself but don't really get likes or shares? You'll get them here and there and book here, and I wanted to give up, but something keeps bringing me to your video, and I've been watching the same lives over and over, taking notes and not trying to give up because I've been hustling for this so much lately, and hits one of my goals early that I wrote down.
What was her goal?
I guess just doing this. But the
Oh.
question was,
Yeah.
what would you do if you posted market but you're not getting like shares and likes? Like you're marketing yourself on, I'm assuming on like Facebook or some social media, but they're not getting much.
Response.
Yeah, much of a response.
Well, there's shares and there's likes and there's bookings, and all of those sometimes are related and sometimes there aren't. And I was telling my students in New York at the academy, if you look at my Instagram, so I have 240,000 followers, right? But on a recent video, I just posted a rapping video, I only have 12 comments and so far 6,600 views. Now, the videos, I let them propagate a little bit. So there's another video that has 10,000 views and 18 comments. But let's just look at that. So let's say I have 18 comments. I have 240,000 followers on Instagram. What is that percentage of the 18 comments? Nothing, right? I made my academy students do this. We did this, and it was 0.0006% or something, because one of the academy students asked this question. So I pulled up one of my stats and I said, do the math. And I feel like it was 0.0006% response. So I was like, you may think, oh, Anna has so many followers. I think it was on my Belly Baby Love page where I have like 500,000 followers or something. And there was only a few comments. Even on my personal page, I have 5,000 friends, that whole thing. But then I'm followed by 24,000 people on my personal page, okay? And I have like one comment on a recent post. I mean, so if I paid attention to my stats, I'd probably jump out a window of depression. I'd be like, nobody loves me, nobody likes me, nobody's commenting, I must suck. So you can't really equate likes and comments and shares to your net worth or your value or your marketing, honestly. Now, if you're going to say, well, Anna, I don't have any bookings, that's a separate issue. Now we need to look at the work. We need to look at, is your work different enough, or is it like everybody else's? Because if it's like everybody else's, the challenge with that is if you're a tired mom and you're here and you're just scrolling through things, and a baby wrapped like a ball looks the same with this photographer, that photographer, they're going to pick the cheapest one because they don't really see the difference. So if you get a naked baby on a beanbag and your naked baby looks like my naked baby and I'm twice as much as you, who do you think the client's going to go to? Maybe you, because they'll be like, well, she has the same work and it's half the cost of Anna, so I'll just go there. So that's why I try to make my work look different. I don't try to do the same wrap that everybody's doing. I don't try to, if I see a trend, I'm not the first one to jump on the trend, or I try to make it a little bit different because I want my work to stand out. And I'll get criticized because of that. People go, well, Anna doesn't do, just last week, someone criticized me. Oh, well, Anna doesn't do this perfect ball round wrap thing. Well, I do. You just may not see it that much, or maybe I don't post it that much because everyone's doing the same thing. And so I'll sometimes get criticized only by the photography community that I may not be doing something, but it doesn't mean I'm not. Think of how many images you actually see of my work. I'm looking to post work that I think is more eye-catching, more unique, that will stop the scroll and have my clients want to hire me because my work is different. So with marketing, you want your work to be unique and you want it to stand out. I don't think you need to pay so much attention to Facebook likes. I don't pay any money for Google ads. Never did, never will. Facebook ads, I don't pay any money for that as well. You've got to look to marketing your community and focus on that and get bookings in that way.
Okay. Another one from Facebook. Happy birthday, Eva. They also said, I bought membership and since then I don't sleep anymore. Always watching them and I love your work. So inspiring. My question,
Thank you.
when you use strobe light, sometimes it flashes and sometimes it doesn't. Why does that happen? Thank you so much.
When I use it,
I think they may mean in general.
why wouldn't it flash?
My guess is their transmitter's probably not transmitting or receiving properly. That's the only thing. Like it's probably just a technical thing with their triggers and transmitter and receiver, because technically it should flash every time. There's no reason why it shouldn't.
I mean, the only time it doesn't flash for me is when my battery dies or my battery dies.
Yeah, it's usually that.
Yeah. And if you're using Pocket Wizards, those things.
Pocket Wizards are they're very unreliable sometimes.
Yeah, I don't want to offend Pocket Wizard, but they really suck. We have like 8 of them, 9 of them, and half of them never work. And that's why I love the Pro Photo transmitters, because we never have a problem with it except for when the battery dies. CyberSyncs are good as well. Pocket Wizards, anyone that has them probably has like 6 or 7 of them because they're so unreliable. So I would, and if you're using a sync cord, that falls out. So it should be firing every single time. And if it's not, check your transceivers, your receivers, and all of that.
Next question. Is there a good app to use for model releases?
I have one. I don't know the name of it. Oh, see, my phone did it again. This is what my phone does. I think something's wrong with it. I did drop it flat on the pavement yesterday, Alex. See the new thing that you put on?
Or you
This
broke it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
This has happened like
We have
5
that
times
actually.
today. This is what happened this morning.
Maybe try. Well, I'll check it out later. Maybe needs an update.
Yeah, like it just randomly shuts off. And I'm pretty sure the kids were texting me. Will you just text Olivia and tell her I'm live? So she knows. Oh, now it just popped on. Just text her. You have Olivia on the cell phone, right? Just text both girls. And see, now I have a blank screen. And just tell them I'm live and to tell you if they need you. Yeah, I don't know. My phone is. Okay, let's see if I can find this app. It's called Releases. I only use it for models because my clients, I use our own contracts. It's just called Releases. I don't know what's called. It's literally just like, I don't know. Maybe if Alex looks at my phone, he can tell you. But like, I literally don't know what the name of like this app that I use for a model. It just says Releases.
Yeah, that would be the name of it.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so yeah,
Okay. Next question, really quick one. Will you ever come to South Africa?
yeah. We talk about this every workshop. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Eventually.
Yeah, listen up, international people. Every day, someone's like, "When are you coming? Fill in the country." And my answer is like, when the borders open. I mean, we've been trying to get to Africa for like 7 years. I'm sure it will definitely happen. I want all my kids to go. So a trip like that, all 3 of the kids would definitely go. And they all want to go to Africa. So it's just a matter of. And as far as South and West and East, I don't know which part of Africa.
Well, South Africa is the actual country.
So,
It's the very bottom of it.
See how
and
much
it's
I know?
Actually, just called
Okay,
South
so
Africa.
that's a whole South Africa country. You know what I did in history class? I colored maps. That's about it. Okay, so South Africa.
Geography or history?
Geography. See?
She was a great student.
South
yes.
Africa. One day we will go to South Africa. I feel like there's another Africa, though, that people always bring up. So what are all of the...
I don't know. I mean, well, there's there's Africa, the continent, and then there's South Africa,
Africa.
the country.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a stupid question.
Mhm.
I can't be the only one that has this question. So you have Africa, the continent,
Mhm.
which Ava counted the other day that I've been to 7 continents, by the way.
I think
7?
there's only 7.
No, 5. 5 of the 7. 5 of the 7. There's 2 I haven't been to. Okay, so Africa, I haven't been to Africa. So South Africa is not in the Africa continent?
It is. It's at the bottom tip of Africa. That's why it's
Okay.
called South Africa.
So you have Africa and South Africa.
Yes. So South Africa, the country,
Yes.
is in the continent Africa.
Of Africa, right?
Yes.
Okay, but there's other Africas.
No.
People like wouldn't there be North Africa?
No.
There's no North Africa.
I don't think
It's
so.
either Africa or South Africa? That's it?
Well, you're either talking about Africa, the continent, or you're talking about South Africa.
Okay, so if I'm going to South Africa, I would not enter Africa, the continent?
Yeah, because that's in the continent of Africa.
Okay, so when I'm in the continent of Africa, in South Africa, there's other
Countries.
in Africa.
Yes.
That's what I mean. How do I know what country to go to in Africa?
Well, this person specifically asked
Oh, South Africa. Okay, all right. I don't know. One day when I'm lost in Africa, just be like, when I'm going, I'll let you know so you can send people out to find me.
So some people are saying Kenya, Tanzania,
Oh,
blah,
see,
blah,
there
blah.
we go.
All
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. All the names of them.
But I think South Africa specifically comes up a lot.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does. It does. But I feel like other areas of Africa have come up. Like if I were to search my
Yeah.
email Africa,
I know we've heard Kenya before a lot.
yes, thank you. That's what I'm saying. How do I know which one to go to? Because when we go, it's going to be like a whole tribe of us.
So saying Congo, Morocco.
Yeah. How do I know where the photographers are and where it's safe and where the zebras are? I need zebras and photographers. That's what I need. And babies. We will go. It is on the bucket list, and I know the children.
People
all
are
wanna
like,
go.
I love this. Alex
This
and
is-
Anna unscripted.
I don't know anything.
Oh yeah,
about
Charlie
geography.
Theron is from South Africa.
Yeah, I know. You don't understand. At home, on my desk at home, I have a map of the U.S. taped to my wall because I would get in so much trouble with airfare. Alex would be like, "Why are you going here and here and here?" I'm like, "I don't know." So,
You would book these tickets in an order that when the last flight to go back home, we're at the furthest point away instead of going to the furthest point first and then working our way back.
see, this is why I have a map. Now I have a map now, Alex. It doesn't really help, but I'm getting better. I just have to tell Alex where I'm thinking of going, and then he'll reroute me. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
moving on.
true.
Is the Boston workshop rescheduled?
Yes, it was last weekend, and I was home in bed with nausea.
Oh, is it rescheduled?
Oh, I don't have a date. I sat at my. How long was I sitting at my desk yesterday, Alex, for looking at dates for like an hour and a half, right?
I don't even know.
I was literally at my desk with a calendar for I think an hour and a half yesterday, going, where am I putting Boston? And that's why I don't have a date yet. I'm working on it. This weekend I'll come up with one, but I just sat there over and over and over again trying to figure it out.
Do you have a favorite type of session, and would you come to Scotland to do a workshop?
When the borders open. Yeah, my favorite session is newborn, for sure. Scotland. Have I been to Scotland? No, huh? don't think so.
I don't think so.
Where's Scotland? That's another stupid question, huh? I don't know where Scotland is.
It's over there.
It's over there. We have maps all over the place, too. There's actually Evan's world map is above my desk because the other day he came in my room. He's like, oh, that's where my world map is. Yeah. Yeah, Scotland. Wherever it is, I will go when the borders open. Pretty much I figure out like all of 2022, I'm going to be out of the country. Since 2021 is not really working out, and we all know how 2020 went. I figured that 2022, I should just be out of the country for like 6 months. Liv will be in college. Maybe he'll still be in school. Yeah, I can't do that. I was going to say, yeah, they're still in school. So we'll figure it out.
Okay. What do you use to show your students and clients the pics from your camera to be to the
Oh,
TV
that's the
monitor
question of the
you
day.
have at your
That's
studio?
an Alex question.
I would love to do that someday. Thank you in advance. You're amazing.
I don't know.
Okay, so I guess this
This
one's
is
from
an
me.
Alex question.
So we just tether. When we're in studio for a session, we don't tether though, so they don't really see it unless Anna shows them the back of the camera. But for workshops or for live streams, we'll tether. So it's just a USB cable going from the camera to a computer that has Lightroom, and then just from the laptop to the TV. That's it.
Okay. It's like asking who the composer of the music is I use for my videos. I'm like, ask Alex.
I'm not sure if this is a question. I have found that if I leave my UV filter on my lens, I have focus problems, so I take it off and it must be better. Oh, that's probably about that focusing issue.
Oh.
And you know how I feel about filters.
Alex, tell him what you tell me about the filters.
So, in my opinion, you should not be using a filter on your lens because a lot of the times, for most of these filters, they're very cheaply made, especially if you're getting the low end ones under $100. You're putting on a very cheap piece of glass onto a very expensive piece of glass. So you're just degrading the light going through to your sensor. The only filters that I would say are actually useful would be a neutral density filter if you're outside, or a polarizing filter. Other than those two, which you would really only use outdoors, I don't recommend using a filter at all.
I think it went something like, why are you using $100 filter on a $2,000 lens? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Okay, I don't talk like that, so let's not give them
In
the
my
wrong
mind,
impression.
Alex, that's what I hear. Okay, I will tell you this. For traveling and protection of that $2,500 lens, a filter is good to have, because I have had filters on and broken the filter and was very grateful that it wasn't on my lens. So if you're rugged with your gear like I am, and you travel a lot like I do, or you work on location a lot, I'd probably put a filter in transit, because it will protect your lens for sure. I've had it happen. But then, yeah, just take it off, because if you have a good lens inside, you don't want to use it, especially for backlighting. That'll screw you up every time.
Okay. Just a comment, and I guess a good step up for this person. So their goal was to save $500 by July. It's not small, I know, but I saved $700, and I now was working out of my house, but an owner of a barbershop gave me a little space in the back of the shop. I was going to take it, but it's a big barbershop, so I won't do newborns or maternity there, just little sessions just to get myself out there. It's good.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'll
You
tell
got to
you.
start somewhere.
I'll tell you a quick story. First of all, congratulations on saving money. Saving money is super important. All my kids are very into saving money right now, because we're always talking about you never know when. So save, save, save. Okay, not a funny story, but a story that I don't share that often. Okay, so it was before Olivia. I was probably 2 years in the business. So I had Evan, 3 years in the business. There was a camera store here in Tustin, and it was a good-sized camera store, and it was a very manly camera store. And it's like it was next door to where we got our nails done yesterday. And they had gear, and they had frames. It was like a typical camera store back in the day. And they had a little tiny corner, probably like the size of the space I'm in now, that they would do for passport photos or headshots. And it was separated by a black curtain. And in the space, they had a huge round softbox. It was probably a good 86 inches that took up the whole corner of the space. So you can't see, there's a big light here. But it was probably maybe 300 square feet, maybe. And that big softbox, Octobox was it? I don't know what it was. It took up the entire corner of the room, okay? They rented me that space for $25 a session. True story. I would go in all the time, talk to them, drop my film off. All guys worked there. And I was like, I need a space. I wanted a space for maternity, and I think I was working out of my garage at the time. Did I do newborns there? I don't know if I did a newborn there, to be honest with you. But I did headshots there, because I was doing a lot of headshots. And I did maternity there, because I remember I had a nude maternity woman, and she was super hot. And I caught the camera guys peeking through the curtain. She was like half nude. Yeah, and they were like, ooh, la, la. I was like, don't do that, don't do that. But so at the time, my session fee was $125. I had to pay $25 to the camera shop, and I had to pay $25 per roll of film. So I made no money, but it was session only. And I rented for them, God, I don't even know, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. I don't even know. I wish in hindsight I would have written all the timelines down. But honestly, that was my first experience using real studio light. Prior to that, I had used lights from eBay in my garage. That was the first time I ever used someone else's studio light, and I was terrified. Terrified. And the guys helped me, and they set everything up, and they showed me how to do it. So you got to start somewhere. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah. I had a really good pregnancy shoot, a couple of really good pregnancy shoots. In fact, one of the shots won not an award, but I scored really high in the WPPI first half competition. That was when I used to enter competitions. I can't remember the last time I entered a competition.
Okay, let's go back to the
We only have
questions we
35
had
minutes, Alex.
before.
I have a date with Olivia to go get something for Ava's birthday. And then I have to take Ava and her friends to downtown Disney, and then tomorrow she has a party. So I'm leaving early today. Okay,
Another
I'm ready.
kind of technical question, so it might be for me.
Okay.
Camera body or glass? I currently shoot with a Nikon D3400. Should I upgrade that or just buy better lenses?
That's an Alex question. You should be sitting right here. I'm going to get another director's chair, Alex, so that the next live you can sit right here.
No, COVID, 6 feet. You know, I can't.
Oh,
Can't be
6
there.
feet. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
I
right.
Can't be there. I only got one camera.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Sorry.
Okay.
I would say upgrade the body because I'm pretty sure that is a crop sensor camera, and I would recommend moving up to a full frame sensor camera so that you get to utilize the full potential of your lens. Because with the crop sensor, you're not getting the full focal length. So your 35 millimeter is really more like a 50 millimeter. So I would definitely recommend getting a full frame sensor camera. It also helps because at least when we're doing workshops and all the people that have the crop sensor, they're trying to shoot
Yeah.
a baby on the ground, they can't even get the full
With a
baby.
50.
Yeah. Or even sometimes even a 35 might be
35.
too close. Yeah. Oh, a 50 for sure would be too close, I think. And they're usually having to stand on a ladder or something.
Yeah,
so
but everyone has a 50 because that's what everyone tells them to get is a 50, and then they have a crop sensor because it's probably what they can afford at the time. So yeah, it's really hard. I try not to answer equipment questions because it's like, I mean, it's just, I always say, where's your struggle? That's what I always say. Where's your struggle? Is your struggle that when you go to look at the image, like Alex is saying, you can't get the full image because it's a crop sensor and you have a fixed lens? Or do you have a range and a crop sensor and you still can't get it? Like what is the number one thing troubling you? For example, when I went from the 24 to 70 USM2 versus the 1, what was troubling me was the focus. I thought it was me for a really long time. And then when I upgraded to the 2, that lens was tack sharp. And I had no problems. Same thing with the Canon Mark IV. It was a huge difference between the 3 to the 4. But I didn't change until I felt that the 3 was lacking. Same with the 1D Mark that I use on location. Evan had that camera, and I thought it was too noisy for newborns, but I found it worked fantastic for low-light family. So I love that camera for the beach, that camera saved me during the tree minis because it was getting dark and I needed a fast camera that could handle it and not be too grainy. So you have to find out, what is your struggle? Is it grain? Is it you can't get a full image? Is it you can't get a range of the lens? Same, Alex just upgraded his camera, and it's for you, it's probably color, right? Like, why did you upgrade your camera?
Color resolution, just more video features because
Yeah.
I was using your 1DX Mark II.
Yeah,
And it does great video, but I wanted a more dedicated video camera,
yeah.
and that's what we're shooting on right now.
Yeah. So you got to kind of figure out what is the number one struggle, number 2, number 3, and then that'll tell you, do I need a new lens or do I need a new body? Yeah. I think that goes with anything.
Next question. Can you go into detail about newborn massage training? You
Oh, yeah.
mentioned in one of your videos.
I know, and it keeps coming up. That question keeps coming up in the Facebook group. Because before COVID, I was bringing in a trainer to certify me in infant massage. And it's a 4-day, I think it's well, the one I was looking at was a 4-day training because I asked her if I could do it in 2 days because I didn't think I could commit to 4 days. And it was gosh, I want to say it was during the shutdown. I don't even remember. I'd have to look up the name of the place. But if you Google infant massage certification training, you'll find that there's many people that do them. It's just like CPR certification. It's just like any other things. So you can, I wanted to get certified just for my own, really. It's kind of like when I got CPR certified, I wanted to make sure that I knew how to perform CPR correctly. My son had to get CPR certified because was a lifeguard. My daughter got certified because she was starting to babysit, so she wanted to take a CPR certification for babysitting. It's kind of the same with me for infant massage. I wanted to get a certification because I did take some infant massage classes when my son was born because he was very gassy. And the only way to relieve his gas besides adjusting my foods was infant massage. And then when he became a toddler, we used to take him to a chiropractor because he had bathroom issues. And I tried everything under the sun, giving him things, you name it, I tried it. And when we took him to the chiropractor, he did certain massage techniques that relieved all of that problem. So I'm a big believer in kind of using the human hands versus medicine or things like that. But because newborns are so sensitive, you have to be very careful about just the tiniest pressure and where to move, that I wanted to take an infant certification course so that I could be certified and completely understand the infant anatomy. It's something I still plan on doing. When I have more information about the program that I'm going with, I'll definitely share it. It's also something I want to incorporate in future workshops, such as the Academy, where we have 4 days to bring in infant massage trainers. Those of you who are in the certification process of the Baby Academy, I want to be able to offer you as well as, infant massage training and things like that. So that's it. It's just something I'm exploring just for safety.
And back to the Facebook questions. I know someone said, please come back to Michigan and Norway.
I just left.
Northern Norway.
Norway is on the schedule. It's on hold because that was Norway. We were supposed to be there whenever it was. That is a trip that's still on hold as well. We have a workshop in Norway. So I'm adopted. If you don't know, I am. My grandfather is Norwegian. Well, he's passed, but he was Norwegian, and he came on the boat from Norway with $5 in his pocket because my brother Steven, who's really into ancestry, found the, whatever you call it, when you get off a boat, there's a word for it, customer record something, that back in the day when they would come on the boat over to this country, they would have a list of everything that they had in their pocket. My grandpa had $5 in his pocket, and he built a family here in Brooklyn, New York, and had my mom and built this whole legacy. And he lived till he was it 97 or 99? I think 98. 98? Oh, Grandpa, when did you go? Anyway, he lived a very long life, and he was my first and favorite photography subject because he would look right in my camera. And he was the only person in my life that no matter what trouble I was in school, or no matter how many times my parents would ground me, or whenever I did something I wasn't supposed to be doing, he would always tell me that I was so smart. He would say, Anna Maria, you are so smart. And I'd be like, no, Grandpa, I don't think I am because I'm grounded right now. And he would just be like, you're so smart. And he was like my biggest fan, and I was his biggest fan. And he's from Norway. That's a fact. And he's I know you're watching over me, Grandpa. We have conversations all the time.
Okay.
We do. Oh my gosh. I literally thought there was like someone in my yard the other day. I was
Grandpa.
it's probably my grandpa. I was like in my yard doing something, and I turned around and I jumped like someone was standing there. Like literally like there was someone standing there, and I just went, oh, sorry. And then I looked and I was like, nobody was there. And I swear someone was standing in my yard. Could have been him. I don't know, but someone was in my yard.
Okay. What poses do you recommend for photographers just getting into newborn photography, and which ones do you think should be avoided?
Well, avoid froggy until you're trained and you know how to do it. What was the first part of the question? Which pose is what?
Would you recommend for newbies?
Newbies. You gotta know how to wrap. You gotta know how to wrap. Babies want to be wrapped. They want to be wrapped. They want to be secure. They want to be content. You take 7-day, 10-day, 12-day, 14. They are, when you wrap them, you can see them melt in your hands. They love to be wrapped. And they like to be held. You know, today in my live, when I was trying to do mom and baby, and he was just all over the place, and he's pooping, and he's naked, and he's just not settling, and then he thinks he wants to nurse, and he's not hungry. And I was like, let me just hold him for a second. And I wrapped him in a chuck, and I just held him tight and bounced on the yoga ball for a minute, and he calmed right down immediately. So, a lot of people struggle with newborns because the hands are flying in here, and the babies, when you get them naked and they flip out, because babies are babies. They just came out of someone's stomach for 9 months. They don't want to be laying naked on a prop. They want to be wrapped up and content and cozy and in their mother's arms. That's just a fact. So when you're doing newborn photography, it should be least disruption to the baby. How can I have a workflow where I don't disrupt them so much, where I don't bother them so much? Babies shouldn't be crying the whole session. They shouldn't be uncomfortable the whole session. You shouldn't be shoving a pacifier down their throat. I mean, this Burnings baby didn't even take a pacifier, and he cried a couple times. They need to be soothed and coddled and rocked and wrapped. And so I wish that people would kind of switch their mindset with newborn photography to not look at it as, oh, I need to get them on this prop or hanging on this branch or look like they're hanging by their toes on an elephant's nose. Like, I'm all for composites and naked, and I'm all for that. But my focus when the baby comes in is I want them secure and I want them wrapped. I just posted a video on my Instagram under Anna Brandt. There's a video we did the other day just about talking about the basic swaddle, about getting the arms down to the side, because everyone wraps like this. Because why? I don't know. They're told to wrap like this. They're also told to get a 50-millimeter lens. They put the hands like this because then you can show the hands, and then they can hold the bear. And then what happens is you do this, and they spend 2 hours popping their hands out. I don't get that. So why not just, I don't know, when you get the baby from the mother's arms and you're a stranger, wrap them to the arms to the side and get them content and comfortable and sleepy and trusting you, and then gently, do other things. So I think my biggest advice is truly understand babies and what they need. Keep a heated, cozy, safe environment. Wrap them well. Put the outfit underneath the wrap so you don't have to unwrap them and then they're freaking out, and then you got to get an outfit on them. And it's cold right now in all parts of the world. So start with just very basic, simple things. And then when you're properly trained, I think you should be trained in person and you're watching someone who's experienced and safe do poses that is not going to endanger a baby. You don't want a baby falling over. You just don't. I mean, these are tiny human beings. You just want to be safe. Comfort poses.
Okay. Someone says, I love how much of a mom you are.
Aw, thank you.
And that you are the best.
I'm all into being a mom. I mean, I probably talk to my kids 100 times a day. Evan right now is out of the country right now, and just the moment he left, I just was like, he hugged me 5 times, and Alex Evan's at the door. My daughters were very close, and my mom said it years ago. She told me that, gosh, this was maybe 10 years ago. My adopted mom, she looked at me and she said, Anna, you have a love affair with your children that very few people have. And when she said that to me, I said, what do you mean? And she just said, that's the only way she could explain it. And I'm very close with my children. We talk 100 times a day. Olivia's really funny because she says, I love you 550 times a day. She can be going to the bathroom. She'll be like, I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. That's Olivia. Ava's the hugger. Ava will hug you 100 times a day. Evan's a good hugger too. But yeah, I mean, I would rather, there's no other job that is more important to me than my children. I need to raise these human beings to be the best that they can be. And I have good days and bad days. And let me tell you, yesterday was not a good day. And I was like falling apart at the seams. And by the time I got home, I was like impatient. I even apologized to Ava later. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm just exhausted. And she said, Mom, you're allowed to have a bad day. And I was like, oh, thank you. I think that if you are all in with your children and you raise them in a way that you want them to flourish in any situation when they have bad days or when they're struggling. You want to talk about motivation when your kids are unmotivated or where they're, especially now with mental health and kids hybrid and the lack of activities. It's more important now than ever to connect with your children. And they're a big part of my life. We talk on the hour, and I couldn't imagine my life without them. When I made the decision to be a mother, that was a big decision to me, and I wanted to be all in. And so is it easy? No. It is blood, sweat, and a whole lot of tears, but it is the most important job I have. So thank you.
Someone else says they would love to see some of the first pictures from when you first started out.
Oh, everyone says that. I have some of them out there. Evan's birth announcement. I mean, Evan's going to be 21 in October. And if you go on my Facebook timeline and you go down to one of his birthday posts, his newborn announcement is there. And yeah, I have them out there. Now everything is in storage because I'm one of those people who I freak out about fires. So don't ask me how many storage units I have, but when we moved a couple years ago when Evan graduated, I put everything personal in a pod storage. So I don't even have any. Like, my house could burn down today, knock on wood, and 99% of personal stuff is not in my house. It's just not in my house. We have everything in storage. The only thing we have personal is things we need, like passports. So a lot of my early work is in storage, but it's very simple, classic black and white. It's nothing shattering. I have a lot of terrible photos from last week. You don't need to go back 20 years. There's a lot of photos that I don't like.
Okay, an actual question now. Will you add a course?
What did you say?
Actual question
Oh,
now.
it was like someone submits it?
What?
You said actual question?
This is an actual question that I'm about to ask you.
As opposed to?
Those were just comments.
Oh, got it. I was wondering why you were saying that. Oh, okay.
Because the last little bit was all just people's comments.
Got it.
Okay, actual question now.
Got it.
Will you add a course about starting your business and what's tax deductible and what's not?
No, because I kind of already have a course like that. I have how to be a baby photographer. And in that course, it's a pretty extensive course, how to be a baby photographer on bellybabyschool.com. That's like one of my most in-depth courses, how to be a baby photographer. As far as what's tax deductible and what's not tax deductible, no, I would never do a course on that. I mean, I went to school for accounting. My dad was an accountant. I have an amazing accountant now. I choose not to be an accountant. And no, I would never. You need to seek somebody who is very knowledgeable in all of that. Plus, the tax laws change all the time. So, no. And yes.
What is your interview process for hiring an assistant?
It usually goes something like this. What are you doing right now? Do you want to go on a shoot with us? And 7 hours later, I'll either hire them or not. Probably 90%, right, Alex? 90% of the people I interview, they don't leave for like a day because the interview is like a date. It's like a first date. First date, everybody's all lovey and sweet and they're on their best behavior and they have their best underwear on. And then let me tell you, then they start to work for you and you see a completely different person. And you're like, wait, where did that person from the interview go? So I'm one of those people, I want to see you work. I want to see you work with me. I want to see you side by side. I'll interview people and they'll come in a shoot with me and they can't open their mouth. And I'll be like, okay, if you can't open your mouth when I'm trying to wrangle like triplets, we can't work together because I'm a very quiet, introverted person when I'm not shooting. I'm not out there making bubble sounds and saying Anna Banana on the street. That's only when I'm shooting. So when I'm not shooting, I'm just super quiet. So I'll meet people and they'll go, "Oh, I'm an introvert and I'm quiet." And I'll go, "Oh, yeah, me too." But when I have a job to do, all that is left. I will hang myself upside down to get that child to smile. And then I'll interview people and they can't like open up and they can't like talk or they're just super quiet. And I'm just like, that's not going to work. Or the reverse. Or I can get them to stop talking and I don't want to talk to you when I'm shooting. I'm trying to work with the client. So usually for an interview process, I require the person to spend some time working. And sometimes I'll even say, I'm going to try you out for a month or two and see how it goes. Because I'm not easy to work for. And so people will come in here all lovey-dovey with sunshine in their eyes and then like 2 hours later hate me. Because they have this different opinion of me than they think. They think that I'm going to be social and animated and be their best friend. And that's not how I am at all. When I'm at work, I'm here to work. And if we have a little fun and some jokes, people will see the way Alex and I are with each other. And so they think that's how I am all the time. But you don't, it's very different. First of all, Alex has been with me for 8 or 9 years now. Second of all, you don't see that Alex and I really don't talk that much. Everyone thinks we do. But when we travel and we're out, we're both really quiet. We're very similar that way. We're not both chatty people. We have conversations and we'll joke, but we're probably more chatty on social than like on video than we are in real life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's very different.
So Gina is on with Ava, and Ava
Brandt.
says hi.
Hi, Mama.
This is from
Happy
a few
birthday,
minutes ago.
Ava Brandt.
I don't know if they're still there because this is from
Oh
minutes
my
ago.
gosh. I wish I would have known, Alex. I would have said happy birthday, Ava.
I know, it's because it takes a while because I was.
Oh, Eva, if
We're
you're
on the different
watching, I
questions.
love you. Happy birthday.
I
That's
think that's all
fun.
she said. So just Alex. Ava says tell mom.
Oh.
I guess she's on some coffee right now. So she's
Oh,
very.
she's getting Starbucks.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got a frap.
Did she get Starbucks?
Yeah, I think so.
Did she get me a white
says-
chocolate mocha?
Ava says no. Talk about me.
She said, talk about Ava.
Yeah.
How amazing Ava is.
Let me see.
Ava's amazing.
Oh, yep, she's still there.
Ava this morning was like, Mom, I'm getting Starbucks after school. I'm like, okay, Ava. That's fun.
Okay, yeah. Just tell her happy birthday. But yeah, you already said it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ava. I didn't get you anything. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Alex owes you a gift, Ava.
I will.
I'll
get you
send him
something.
your whole self-defense list.
I'm not getting you a taser. I'm sorry, but I draw the line there.
Ava on her birthday list, it was this whole like self-defense list and like tasers was like number one. I'm like, it's probably my fault because I'm always saying that someone's going to kidnap them. So, yeah, I take the blame. I take the blame on that one. I mean, I don't want anyone to kidnap them. Yeah. I'm all about self-defense. Let's put it that way. Okay, we only have like 20 minutes. And my phone is dying, so I have to plug in my phone. All right, Alex, I'm waiting for my next question. Or
Trying to figure out
comment.
how this. Okay, so the whole sentence is: I need to invest in lighting system, 24-70, 2.8, and a full frame camera? Question mark. Which should I buy first?
The full frame camera or the lens?
Lens, camera, and lighting. Which first?
Which do you need the most?
Well, you can't really shoot with. You're not gonna need the light if you don't have a camera.
True.
So I would say
Camera. Well, you can't have a camera without a lens.
if you're just starting out, I would say lens first.
The lens is going on.
I know, but like which to buy more expensive
More
first, I would say.
expensive. The lens
So get like
first.
a good lens and maybe a cheap body while you're starting out until you
Okay.
learn the ropes, and then upgrade the body,
Okay.
and then get the lights.
Get the lights. There you go.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation, I think.
Am I straight, Alex? Am I staying straight? You're not even looking. You weren't
no,
even
I'm-
looking at me
well,
for like the past
I'm
hour.
looking at the questions. So your kids all have milestone birthdays, 16,
Yes.
18, and 21.
Yes, this is the milestone year. Yes. 16, 18, and Evan turns 21. Right now they're 16, 18, and 20. And Evan turns 21 in October. Yeah, it's a big year. It's a big year. In more ways than one. And just so you know, my phone just restarted again, Alex. Just
No.
FYI.
All right, I'll check it after this.
Yeah, it's a huge year. Life-changing year. For sure.
Someone's saying Alex is in trouble. I haven't texted. Yeah, well, I've been busy. Okay, it's been a busy day.
It has been a busy day.
Ava, if you're still listening, I will completely demoralize you and pull again.
Eva and Alex have a special relationship. She says he's the brother she really wanted. Evan,
tell
if you're
Evan.
listening, so sorry. We love you too.
Is there an app that you use when you want to show your client how the images look on the wall?
No. There is. I don't use them. Next question.
I can't wait to meet you, and I'm wondering your thoughts on the best camera and lens. I
Oh
was
my
told
gosh.
by a camera store that DSLRs have stopped being made. Are you now using mirrorless?
Is that true? Have they stopped being made?
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of them, they are making more mirrorless, but they're not going to completely abandon everyone that has glass for their DSLRs.
Yeah, because don't a lot of the new mirrorless don't even have new
Yeah, you have to
lenses
get
yet,
a
right?
whole new set of lenses. And
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to just
it's
abandon everyone
Gonna
like
take
that.
a while for those two to sync up, a very long time, which is why I haven't switched anything yet. No, I still have my Mark IV 24-70. I'm perfectly content with it. Wait, what was the question? What camera and lens should she get? I mean,
One of your thoughts on best camera and lens?
yeah, it's so tough. It's based on budget. What are you doing? Are you shooting weddings? Are you shooting babies? Are you shooting kids? Are you shooting natural light? Are you shooting studio light? I mean, that's why I hate answering these questions, is because it's like you need to check off a little survey, like I'm sure they have them somewhere. Like, best lens for what? Newborn. Well, some people, you ask 50 newborn photographers, they're all going to give you a different answer. Some people are going to say 35. Some people are going to say 50. Some people are going to say 24-70. It's the same with portrait lenses. Everybody, it's like wearing a shirt. Everybody has a different opinion. My biggest advice would be to rent before you buy. That's something I tell my son all the time because he's a big gear guy and he wants all the latest gear. And so I'm always like, no, 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 no. So then I finally got him into the habit of renting. And it's interesting because the last trip he went on, he rented a Sony. And before that, he had wanted to buy a Sony, whatever Sony it was, I don't know. But he was obsessed with this particular Sony camera. And then he rented it. And he was on a camping trip or something. And when he came back, he was like, I'm so glad I didn't buy this camera. And I was like, aren't you glad you rented this camera? And he was like, yeah. So you've got to rent things and try it out. And then if you go, oh my gosh, I love this camera so much, then you know that's the camera you want to buy. But you've just got to try it out, honestly. You can't keep buying cameras and getting new ones every year.
Yeah. I think the person that was talking about their studio light and stuff. So I mostly newborn studio light. Sorry, I wasn't specific. I use 24-70 as well as Mark III. But anyway, next question. How do you deal with burnout?
You just do something else. I mean, I don't get burnout. I get, how do I say this? There's a reason why I haven't posted on Clubhouse yet. So I have the Clubhouse app. What's super annoying about this app is the notifications pop up on my phone all day long, and I'll go to text my kids, and next thing you know, I'm in a room. That happened the other day, and someone was like, "Hi, Anna." Anna entered the room, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I leave quietly. I've probably entered like 10 rooms in the past week, but I didn't mean to because of this app. Clubhouse, if you don't know what it is, it's an audio app, and I haven't participated in it yet, even though I've been on it, because it's a lot of this, and that's what burns me out, is the talking. That's what burns me out. For me, burnout would be there's too much too much talking, too much noise. So like after a workshop, when I have to talk like 4 days straight, or 1 day or 2 day or 4 hours, I'll spend the next 4 to 6 hours in quiet. That's why traveling is so nice, because like the Baby Academy in New York City, I loved each of the academies. We've done 4. Each group has been even more amazing than the last. I just laugh of the stories and the photographers. We've had so much fun. Each of the Baby Academies. But it's still 4 days of very intense training. And so what's kind of nice is when you get on the plane after a training, or even when I'm here and I go home, I won't say a word for like a day or two, to just kind of shut the noise out, to just, because I get tired of hearing myself. It's not other people, it's myself. When I'm training too much, or even like today, now that I've spent like all day live and all day talking, I'm taking my daughter to downtown Disney tonight with her friend because her party's tomorrow. It'll be girls chatting all night, and I'll probably be the quietest person for the whole weekend, because to me, burnout for me, and I think burnout's different for everybody. For me, burnout is too much noise, too many people talking to me, too many people requiring my attention, too many people needing me. So if I'm doing tree farm sessions and I'm doing like 8 days of tree farm sessions, I can go 8 straight days. But then I need 2 days where I'm just not talking to anybody. So how I handle burnout is just having quiet time, just having downtime, shut off social media. I mean, yesterday when I wasn't feeling well, I just went home and I just shut everything off. There was no TV, there was no computer, there was no phone. There was just shut off from like 8:39 till 6 o'clock this morning. And I do that quite often. I'm not on social media that much as people think I am. I don't post that much personal, and I just shut it off. So is burnout because you're shooting too much, or you're creating too much, or you're talking too much? Or I have friends that are social butterflies, and they'll be like, oh, I have too many parties that I've gone to. This is before COVID. And they'll stay home for like a week, or if you're dating and it's too many dates and you don't go on a date for a month. It's that same type of thing. Even working out. Sometimes you can work out too much and you just need a day or two where you're not working out. So I think my biggest advice for burnout is whatever is burning you out, take a break from it. It's my biggest advice.
Okay, last few minutes before we go.
Yeah.
So let's do rapid fire questions
Yes,
here.
we have like
Do you have a backup camera?
5 minutes. I do. Well, we have several cameras around here.
Yeah, she has a second 5D Mark IV that went into the ocean, but still works.
Still works.
She has the 1DX Mark II, and I think that's it.
Yeah, we have some cameras at home.
Your Mark III?
I think it's at home. I think I gave it to Olivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm living in South America. I'll move to New York, and I don't know how to start again. What is the best advice for me? In 30 seconds.
Wait. Was that the Hawaii one?
No, this is South America. But very similar. I didn't get to it because those were part of the ones that came in online or through email. We didn't get through hardly any of those.
Okay. Whoa, goodness. Sorry. Hold on, Olivia. Oh my gosh. Last night when I wasn't feeling well, Ava needed something from the freezer, and I threw out everything in the freezer. I mean,
why?
3 shelves of food. Because I was like, no one eats anything in the freezer.
What was it? Was there anything good?
I don't know, because I threw it all away. And Olivia just texted me, and she goes, Mom, I just went to Trader Joe's last week and bought a bunch of stuff and put it in the freezer.
Oh, no.
And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Rough night. She probably went home and was like, I'm going to eat whatever I bought. And he was like, yeah, no. Mom threw it.
It's like, can't wait to get home and eat that stuff I just bought.
I threw it. When I mean I threw it all away, I have 2 big trash bags. The house cleaners at my house right now. And I forgot to take them out to the thing. I left them by the door. And it's my entire freezer. And I was like, the house cleaners are like, what's this? I'm like, my freezer? She says, it's okay. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I don't blame you. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Look, there was 2 questions. I have some extra time now that I'm digressing. although I really have to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to hold it. There are two people that have this issue. One lives half in Hawaii, one lives half somewhere.
Yeah, I'll try
And
to
then
pull it
this
up.
person is South Africa. Are we back to South Africa? What's happening? Tell me these two questions.
This one, South America, and they're
South
moving to New
America.
York.
Give me one sec. South America, and they're moving to New York. But are they going to do any work in South America?
No, I think they're just gonna stay in New York after this.
Oh, okay. So they're moving from South America to New York. Well, that's a huge move, especially now. So you're gonna.
Yeah, this one.
All right.
So yeah, so this one came in through the online forum. My first year living in Hawaii, and from November to May, in Washington from May to November. Do I need 2 websites, 2 Instagrams? I'm having a hard time figuring out marketing, licensing, product delivery, and so on. Basically, do I need to stop doing sessions a month early in both states? They're kind of just struggling on how to run this business out of 2 states.
Yeah, a lot of people do it, especially wedding photographers. There's quite a lot of people that if you go to their website, it'll say like New York and California, or I see East and West Coast all the time, especially with wedding photographers, engagement photographers, family photographers. There's a ton of photographers that do it actually, and you can do it. I don't think you need 2 websites. I mean, licenses.
This person specifically only moving
From
from
South
South America
America,
to New York.
okay.
It's just kind of starting over, basically.
Okay, so 2 things. To the person that's Hawaii and wherever, as far as licenses, wherever you are, you should have appropriate licenses, yes. If you're working in 2 places, you're going to have to pay taxes to both places. I mean, from a legality standpoint, yeah, you need to understand the laws of each area that you're in, pay the taxes appropriately, have a kicking ass accountant, man, because I wouldn't even attempt to do that myself. I would have a really good accountant or lawyer on speed dial that took care of all of that for me. Number 1. Number 2, on your website, you can just put the different locations and say, I am in Hawaii January to June, and I'm in New York or California, wherever you are, from July to December. And you should be marketing heavily and planning your schedule accordingly. But it's like anything. It's like when we travel and I say, oh, I'm going to New York. I get messages every day. When will you be in New York next? When will you be in New York next? Can I book a session? When is your next workshop? So you just have to be super organized, have a really good calendar. You almost need, if I was bi-coastal, I would have someone who only handled my booking, and who understood my schedule, who could handle it for me, because it's a lot to do. As far as moving from another country to New York, I mean, it's like anywhere. I moved from New York to California, and I didn't know anybody. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I had to do field trips and find out where I'm living and find out where my client is and find out the places that I want to market. And you are now an alien in foreign land. You've got to do your due diligence and do your homework and pretend you're a salesman who has just been assigned to new territory. What would that salesman do? They would understand all the places that they need to network and to market and how to get their name out there. I mean, I could spend days on this. Find yourself a good mentor and just have at it. But all achievable, all doable, but it's going to require some homework and due diligence. Okay, we'll take 2 more, Alex, and then I have to go.
Okay. I have a Canon 60 24-7 Tamron. I struggle to get things in focus. Any tips on what I'm doing wrong and should be doing? I was told to get my lens calibrated.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably
Yes.
it.
Anyone with focusing issues, get your camera and your lens checked.
Yeah, the calibration you could even attempt yourself. There's calibration tools you can purchase, and if you look up a YouTube video, you can probably figure that out on your own without having to pay someone to do it.
Do you see me, Alan? This is me. No. Get it? No.
I mean, if you can do it yourself, you're gonna save yourself like $100.
Oh my
at
God!
least.
You're gonna spend 10 hours figuring out how to do it. What is that $100
takes like
worth
5
to you?
minutes.
No, there's no. Okay, first of all, Alex
These
is
are
such a man.
starting newborn photographers.
Yeah.
They're
So,
struggling.
okay, so don't buy the next $100 newborn romper and spend the $100 getting your camera calibrated because they're going to spend 10 hours on YouTube figuring out how to calibrate it. No, I leave things to the professionals. No, send it out. Don't listen to Alex. Send it out.
If you come to Denmark, you can have your workshop at this person's studio. So if you're still listening, send Anna an email.
Okay. And when Denmark opens.
How did you start mentoring, starting workshops? Did you feel like teaching photographers around you would hurt your business or help you grow?
Neither. Teaching has absolutely nothing to do with helping me grow or hurting my business. Nothing to do with it. Teaching has everything to do with sharing your knowledge and sharing your information. I have never once, not once, said teaching is going to hurt my business. Those thoughts have never even entered my mind. And as far as helping me grow, it's helped me grow for sure. But no, it was just people asking for my help and me saying, I'll help you. I'll teach you everything I know. I've been raised by teachers. My mom taught, my sister taught, my aunts taught. I was raised by female teachers. And so I taught years ago. I taught, oh my gosh, in my early 20s, I taught at senior citizen homes. I taught all the seniors how to hand color photographs. I think I was like 21. Yeah, it was so much fun. I was like senior night with Anna, and we would hand color photographs with all the seniors. I mean, I've taught for years. My very first official teaching job was with Nobody Beats the Whiz in New Jersey, and they hired me to be their corporate trainer. I think I was 22. And then I learned how to develop Lotus Notes, and so I developed programs and I wrote macros for their sales associates because I was really good at writing macros and programming and coding. And so I've been teaching for a long time. For me personally, teaching has nothing to do with either one of those things. I don't care about competition. Competition, everyone is competitive. That's irrelevant to me. My client's going to choose me because they want me and want my work, and I don't consider myself competing with anybody but myself. And as far as helping grow, I mean, I feel like I'm always trying to help myself grow. It's just about whether you want to give back or not to your community. It's really all that it has to do with. And I feel like I've always been a teacher. So it was just for me, it was a natural progression. For some people, it's money. They need money, and so they teach. For others, it could be ego. I don't know. Ask every teacher why they teach. I don't know. I answered the question, I think. Alex is like, speed it up.
Okay. To the person asking or talking about the focusing issues again about cleaning the mirror inside. I don't know if that is true. It might be. I don't know. They said someone said that if you clean the mirror inside, it could throw off the focus because if you move it. Because I feel like they would be hard to move unless you're really going at it trying to clean it. So a light cleaning, I don't think would really do that, but I'm not entirely sure. So I would check with the manufacturer and see what they say instead of just the camera shop. Random question: do you get sick on boats?
Me?
Yeah, I do not.
I've only been on a boat once.
I've only been a few times as well.
And it was...
So yes or no? Did you get sick that time?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was with a
Well,
boy
moving
a
on.
long time ago. I don't know.
Do you plan on doing more podcasts? We're supposed to.
Yeah.
Eventually. We'll get to it.
Okay, I was supposed to do them many times. It's been on the schedule, and every time it's on, I take it off. And Alex, we were supposed to do all new podcasts. That was supposed to be January and then February. I've had some personal issues this year that have prevented me from doing podcasts. That's all I'm going to say. And so it's been very difficult for me to record podcasts. So when I'm ready, I will do them again, but I'm not ready yet.
And someone's saying you're the nicest person, heart of gold, never puts herself above anyone. That's great, Tutor.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Best teacher ever. I won't ever think about learning from another photographer, educator. No one has a heart of gold like you. I mean, you probably still should learn as much as you
I
can.
was just going to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You should learn from as many people as you want to learn from. I mean, I'm still learning. I've been listening to this woman's podcast all week from Teachable. Teachable put out a free women's conference. And I think the replays are going to April 11th. So I signed up for it. And yesterday I was listening to these, not photographers at all. It's just female business leaders podcasts. So a lot of when I'm listening to things, it's not a photographer. So when I'm in the car, I've been listening to these female business owners. And they're fantastic. And just, just trying to educate myself. So yeah, I think you should learn from multiple people. Thank you. I appreciate that. You follow me, but yeah, follow as many people as you can, learn from as many people as you can, and you'll get a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from there. And when I'm ready, not ready yet, when I'm ready, I'll bring back the summits and I'll bring back the podcasts, but I need a little more time.
And beginner in the field, feel very lost. Any advice?
Lost how? Lost in your business, lost in your work, lost in time management, lost in motivation. How? If you're still listening and you want to tell me how, tell me how. It's hard to answer a question like that because me being a mentor and a teacher, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, where are you feeling lost? My mom has a master's in divinity and a master's in psychology. She's an expert listener. And so sometimes when you're talking to my mom, she's listening so much. I'll be like, Mom, are you there? Mom, did I lose the connection? Mom? And she'll always be like, I'm listening. And like 5 hours later, she'll be like, tell me more. Why are you feeling lost? Do you need motivation? Do you need coffee with a girlfriend? Do you need a good movie cry? How? I don't know. I can answer that, but I need a little more information.
Rafia, when is our next TikTok?
When is our next what?
TikTok.
Rafia, we need to TikTok. Oh my gosh, I'm very disappointed that we didn't do a second TikTok. I mean, I'm really feeling neglected over here because Rafia was at my academy. It's on my Instagram. My daughters were very proud of our TikTok, by the way. Rafia, congratulations. Just got a studio in Brooklyn. I am extremely jealous of Rafia's TikToks with her husband. And I will come to your Brooklyn studio and we'll do some TikToks. Next time I see you, we'll do a TikTok. Yeah. Rafia, oh my gosh. The students of the Academy 4.0, not to diminish 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0, but 4.0, man, I don't know. They're in the lead right now.
That's what that meant, because someone put 4.0.
4.0.
I was like, what is that?
So that
talking
was the
about?
fourth Academy.
Oh, okay.
So it's 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. And each Academy group has topped the last one. 3.0, I thought 3.0 was pretty good. I thought 1.0 was fantastic. It was our first Academy after COVID. 4.0, New York, oh my. Oh gosh. I still keep thinking about New York.
Okay. Kathy Gonzalez says, thank you for fixing my invoice, even when you had a blurry weekend. Sharing my respect for being such a professional.
You're welcome. I don't remember what that was, but you're welcome.
Such a professional. Annie just says, Summit in Okinawa.
I heard, Annie, I was reading yesterday because I was trying to figure out Tokyo, and rumor has it that Japan may not open their borders for the entire year. They may not open to the U.S. until 2022.
Is she over there already?
No,
Annie, are
she
you there
was
yet?
in June.
Oh, in June. Okay.
But because I'm supposed to be there in Tokyo, I'm supposed to be there April, May, and we can't go. And they don't want the U.S. right now. So I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Japan. The minute the Japan borders open, I'm there. Japan is I know it's my kid's favorite place is Japan. Evan will tell you it's his favorite place.
The person that said they were lost, different Annie, says, lost in learning. I don't know how to start learning.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to end
And
with
I
this.
feel COVID ruined all my plans. I couldn't attend any workshops and kind of not sure how to learn more.
Aw.
From New Jersey.
Okay, I think we'll have to end with this question only because it's 3:45. Is that clock fast? What time is it? Yeah. And I have to meet Olivia at a store at 4 o'clock. So I have to go. But yeah, I get that. COVID ruined a lot of people's plans, myself included. You may want to look into just some mentoring. It doesn't have to be with me. It can be with anyone. I do Skype mentoring and I also do in-person mentoring. But sometimes I feel like when you're really lost, you need a one-to-one, because then you can talk with someone and figure out what's missing. Like when I mentor people, I had a couple of mentoring calls this week, and it's just kind of focusing on where their struggle is, what do they need now, prioritizing what needs to be done. It can feel overwhelming when you need pricing, and you need marketing, and you need a new studio, and you need props, and you need wrapping. It's very overwhelming. So rather than just attending workshops or just trying to dive into a million things, if you can afford anything, I would say afford some one-to-one mentoring. If you can't afford that, I would write down what your struggles are. What is like the top thing that you need the help with? And then try to see where you can find the results of that. Some people it's workflow, some people it's wrapping, some people it's time management. It can be very overwhelming. I'm a big believer in writing down notebooks. I write everything down. And whether it's I'm paying something, or there's bills due, or there's too many things to do, podcasts. I've been writing down podcasts. I probably have like a year's worth of podcast topics that I haven't even done. So you just write things down and write what your struggles are, and then rate them in order of importance. Because sometimes I'll say, write them down. And then once I start talking about it, maybe the fifth thing they wrote down is probably the most important thing they need to focus on. And think, okay, well, I'm not making money, but why aren't I making money? Well, I need to market. Okay, so is your website done? Well, no, my website's done. Okay, then back up. Because how can you make more money and market when you don't have a website? You know what I mean? So it's things like that. I was just talking about this with my son last night. I was telling him to stop thinking about work, and his texts were just like, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this. And I was like, whoa, stop. Here's what we need to do. Back up. And I literally reversed the things that he wanted to do and put them in reverse order. And then he was like, okay, Mom, I get it. And so I think that's what you need to do is write them down. And I do this with my kids all the time. Write down what are the issues, and then rearrange them like a card deck. Okay, what is the most important? Is going to have the most impact. Now, what is what I can do most financially accessible? Meaning, okay, I have the money, but I can't go to a workshop. Okay, can you take that money and apply to mentoring? Or I don't have the money, but I need to learn how to do this. Okay, well then let's find some free resources to help you learn that, or things like that. So take a breath, have a quiet time, write things down, prioritize, and go from there. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to wrap it up. But as always, we go through almost 2 hours of time, probably because I digress so much. But we have been having these Ask Me Anythings every couple of weeks. I thank you for tuning in. We'll continue having them. I did commit to doing these all year. And as I said, as soon as we can bring the summits back, I will. As soon as I feel that I'm capable of doing podcasts again, I will do a whole new channel. But I just ask for some time for that, for me to be ready to do that. And I think that's it. I think we're good, right? Have a good weekend. Just remember, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.